Hello, the game is Once Human, and in this video I'm just going to show you the Icy Vortex build. There's a lot of them out there already. I've been using this for a while. I've followed other YouTubers' builds. I want to do my own video just so I can thoroughly explain it. I had a lot of questions when I watched other videos, and I'm intimately familiar with the build now, so I can do my own. Let me get this volume down a little bit. And I just want to touch on some things other people really didn't touch on. So let's get in here. Alright, let's log into my Care Bear server, my Don't Bug Me server. So the Icy Vortex is a purple heavy SMG that you can... Oh, I gotta get back to my base. Heavy purple SMG that you can... I'm on the wrong world. That you can pick up for free. You don't have to pay for it. That's one of the beautiful things about it. It's a great starter build. I think you need phase 2 to be open because all the armor pieces and all the blueprint pieces that you can pick up are in Chalk Peak, which is here. Let me just bring the map down into the recording area. So if you go to Map Genie IO, you can filter everything. All these settlements, right, you got to clear them out, and when you clear them out, there's usually a mystic crate. The mystic crates will give you armor, and I think I don't remember which one exactly gave it to me. It was like the very last one I went to. It was either this one, the Rotten Saddle, or no, I don't think it was that one. I think it was one of these two down here are the ones that actually gave me the Icy. But if you're doing this, obviously, you want to do the whole map. You want to do every settlement. You want to get every mystical crate. But there's also armor that you can use where you don't have to spend any money on the armor. So let me change worlds, get back to my base, and show you the armor, and we can go over it in detail. I probably should have been there before I swapped. And then I just need to port back to my base. Oh, I should probably put streamer mode on. That way I don't have to... I didn't even need to be in my base. And if I stay down here, I should be fine. I'm not near the radios. I don't want copyright strikes on the music. So, going into the blueprints, the Icy is a submachine gun. And it is right here. Right? The Icy Rain. KV, SBR, Icy Rain, blueprint. Critical hits grant 40% chance to trigger Frost Vortex, so obviously you're going to stack crit as much as you can. When Frost Vortex is created, auto reload 15% of the bullets. That is a huge quality of life. And then this gun gives you +1 Frost Vortex. So this gun just on its own is awesome. What makes the build great is this reload, in my opinion, because I can just... when you get your crit rate up, you can just shoot forever, right? So what I do is, I got 15,000 rounds on me. You know, I'll have 15, 20,000 rounds on me. I don't ever got to worry about it. I'll just keep blasting. You literally can fire a stream non-stop. Let me run upstairs. Or, no, the target dummies are down here. That's right. You can literally fire a stream. Just absolutely non-stop. And it'll just never... Unless you run out of actual ammo, it'll just keep reloading. So I'll do a little example of that. Excuse the volume. As you can see, it's never fallen below, what, 40? If you miss a little bit, too, it's not that big of a deal as long as you get back on target, so you spray a little bit, it'll build itself back up. Don't make a liar out of it, but it'll slowly build itself back up even if you're missing a little bit. It all depends on your crit rate. As you can see, really great AOE damage, right? So it's taking out anything around them. The thing I can't show you, maybe I'll jump outside my yard and show you a little bit, is that it's also healing you. So it's reloading, constant stream. You can just sit there. You don't ever have to reload, ever. So once you get your crit above like 40%, you don't ever have to reload. And then with the blueprints, or the mods, I mean, so you get to mod out your weapon. Where in the heck? Oh, these are generals. So in Frost weapons, so you can see I have these equipped. When Frost Vortex disappears, restore 10 hit points. Now, this is the biggest benefit to this build, in my opinion. The reloading is nice, but other builds have auto reloading stuff that allows you to keep going. My Bingo Sniper does the same thing. It's pretty good. BoomBoom has healing. There's other things that have healing, but none of them have what this has. It's 10%, so it's a lot. A lot of them are like 5% or something. The sniper is actually 15, and I had it pumped up to 30. I'll do a sniper build later, 30% on every kill. But that's the thing, it's on every kill. This thing heals me 10% every time I proc one of the vortexes. So 10%. You know what I mean? It's like you're healing a lot, and it's not on the proc. It's not on the when the vortex forms. It's when the vortex dissipates. But when you're doing this, I can only have, I think, with this build, 3 vortexes up. So when vortex number 4 comes up, vortex number 1 goes away, and that counts, right? So basically, that's why it feels like every time vortex pops up, I heal. The reality is every time a vortex goes away, I heal. But because I'm making them go away prematurely, because I'm spawning them so fast, because I crit so much, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They just pop so much that nothing. I can face tank everything. Bosses smack me. You know, the irritating guys that hit you. As long as it doesn't one-shot me, I can pretty much just sit there and I can just stand this close to it if I want, like a boss, and just be like, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna be able to face tank pretty much anything. Nothing's been able to kill me. The only time you run into any risk is the ones that do like the knockback, so it makes you stop shooting for a second. But as long as it doesn't hit you again before you can start shooting and get your health instantly right back up, it's fine. So that's what makes this great. As you notice, I would say this build's going to get you between 10 and 14,000 DPS, which is really nice. That's really nice. That's solid. You do a boss fight, you're going to be doing 2-3 million damage. Other people are going to be doing 3, 4, 5 with their better builds, but they don't have the sustain that you have. They might not have as beautiful of a reload as you have. They definitely don't have the healing power that you have. No other build has the healing power. No other build that I know of has the healing power that this build has, and that's why I use it. I really like it. I don't ever really have to use my heal things ever. I don't have to worry about crafting them or anything, and I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of DPS for that. So that's the pro. The con, the pros, it's pretty decent. It's like mid-tier DPS. It's cool. It looks cool. It feels good. It's pretty stable. Once you get some accessories on it, it's pretty stable. As you can see, it's a pretty straight line. It's not hard at all when you're through the red dot scope like this. To just drag down a little bit and keep on target. Like I could probably do steady headshots from here, no problem. A little bit of missing there, you know what I mean? But you're pretty accurate. The range is fine as long as you can burst like things very far away. I can hit them. So the range and all that stuff isn't a problem. Range isn't that much of a disadvantage as you might think it would be with a submachine gun. The disadvantages are it's medium. It's not the highest. Like it's not a shrapnel build. It's like some of the highest, or corrosion shotgun build, or you know what else they got. Like, but it'll compete with things like BoomBoom, snipers, stuff like that. As far as damage, and you got incredible healing, and you don't ever have to reload. The other downside is it chews through ammo. So you got to be in a position where you can craft a lot of ammo. It's no big deal to you. The other downside is it eats your durability. Look at my durability. So because I have such a durability issue, like 3 silo runs and I got to repair. I can't, you know what I mean? Now my gear can probably last a little bit more than that, but not much. So it kind of fits with the gear a little bit. But I keep 2. That's why I keep 2. Just because if one runs out, I got a backup. Now this one is spec for elemental, and this one's for crit damage. But I'm gonna respec that. I can do it now. Let me turn my settings off. Settings, sound, live stream mode on. What live stream mode does is it cuts out all the copyright music that comes out of radios. By the way, if you don't like the radios, but you want to have them playing for your dudes, just turn live stream on, look. But your dudes will be happy because they got radios, so little tip there for you. Stuff like that I'm going to put in my tips and tricks video that I will make one day. I don't know. I'm going to try to pump this video out. I'm going to try to do a beginner's guide. I'll see if I have enough stamina for tips and tricks as well. What the heck was I even coming up here to do? I completely... Oh, I was going to pop that thing in. So just to show you how to calibrate. Calibration's very important for these builds. So when you start off, it has something even worse than this, right? So I put a calibration in here. I put heavy style. And I chose heavy style because it has maximum capacity. There is one that has plus 20 attack. It reduces some of your magazine capacity. And I think it reduces accuracy a little bit. That one's probably the best one. If you can get that one, I forget what it's called, with 2 crits, with double crit, like this, that's probably the best one. The reason why I went with magazine capacity is because my crits were kind of low, right? They were kind of low, and sometimes you could run out, and having that extra capacity sometimes help the RNG of your crits, and you could pop back up, right? So I got another one, so I'm just going to pop it in here. I'm going to replace this. I did a test on this earlier. I'm going to put that video at the end to test the difference between elemental damage versus crit. Damage-wise, it's about the same. AOE, crit's a little better. Damage is a little better with crit. And then you're also getting the benefit of your healing more the more you crit and the more you reload. So overall crit is better in absolute every way than elemental damage. So let me go ahead and replace that. I bought this off somebody for like 30K, and just for my second gun, just so I could flush it out a little bit better. Actually, it might be my primary gun, which was 6.4 and what is that? 6.4 and 7.3, and this is I don't know. I'm not gonna do the math, but it might be a little bit better. So I'm gonna pop that on there and make sure I got the right one. And that's all you do. You pull the calibration. You get calibrations from dropped guns that you can't repair. You scrap them. You get calibrations from them. So that's the end game. You want calibrations. You want a farm gun. You want to buy calibrations from people. That's kind of the end game of it. So what else do I have to tell you about? Okay, so that's the general how the build plays, how you want to kind of calibrate it. You want crit, and then whatever you want in that primary. I don't know the terminology, the primary stat versus the secondary rolls. I don't know what they would call that. So the heavy style would, I don't know what that's called. Your primary, your and then crit rate, the silver wing one, and then okay, yeah. So anyway, you just want the best you can get in there. And you also want to calibrate your weapons up, by the way. Calibration mods are different. I'll just, complete new guide. Calibration mods are different from calibrating. Calibrating is when you put this to 1010 and get maximum damage and everything like that. Replacing the calibration attributes is putting the calibration mod in. So keep that in mind when somebody says calibrate. There's 2 types of calibrations. Make sure you're not getting confused with them, or they're not confusing you. And then mods and armor. So I'll show you what I got now, right? So the best armor set I think is Shelter. It gives you elemental damage for frost. Every time you hit, which you hit a lot obviously, right? You gain 1 stack of deviant energy, and each stack gives you 1% elemental damage. So that frost thing that pops out, psh, 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 that's getting more damaging. It can stack up to 20 times. When you reload, it removes half, so you'll have 10 stacks always, and then you're building up from 10. Because you really, once you get high crit, like 40 plus, you don't ever have to reload. And then down at the bottom, you can barely see it. It's getting cut off, which I don't like that about this game. It always cuts things off. I think there's a button you can push to kind of freeze it, but basically increases stacks by 10. So, and you get 2 additional attacks when you hit, I think it's a weak spot. So basically you're always at 15, and then you can punch it up to 30 in like no time with this gun, right? 30 rounds on this thing is nothing. So you don't even have to think about it. It's a good set. Get the 4-piece. I have this for max HP. I kind of wish I rolled like, I don't know, what's less? I kind of wish I rolled like boots, the boots that give you run speed, or the gloves that give you run speed, because run speed to me is very valuable in the end game. My 10% HP, what's that matter? I'm getting healed constantly, you know what I mean? It helps a little bit, but that run speed will help me farm stuff and run my routes and stuff like that. This is the key item, so if you're not familiar with builds, you can have set pieces and a key item. You can only have one key item. See up the top says key armor. This one just gives you a, when it Frost Vortex, it just makes spikes come out that deal 100% PSI. PSI is a stat you get from your armor. See where it says HP, poison risk, PSI? The more you pump your, calibrate your armor, the higher your PSI is going to be. So if you ever hear somebody just tell you, well, don't even bother putting your armor up. I've had people tell me that. Like, don't even bother calibrating your armor up. That's a waste. It only gives you a little bit more HP. It gives you a butt ton of HP, but what it really does is it pumps your PSI up. So here's my stats. Oh, here's an easy way to tell. So my crit damage is, let's see. I want to check my crit damage without having to do the math. So 48.7 with one gun, 48.7, 66. Switch to gun 2. 48.7, 66. And gun 2 is my primary. That's going to be my best gun because it has a little bit better crit. Same crit damage, right? And then for this build, sorry, I'm getting off armor. Just wanted to say, for this build, the Frozen Northern Pike is absolutely wonderful. It heals when you hit with it. I put Light Striker on there because it gives me movement speed when I'm just holding it. Which is nice. So like when I'm running around doing my rounds, I just hold that. And usually when I'm doing my rounds, it's easy mobs. I can almost one-shot them, like even the higher end mobs with this thing. You just rush into them, hit them, Vortex will pop out. You're getting plus Vortex damage, you're getting healed. So as you see, impacts when you hit them with the shoulder rush, it does a Frost Vortex. When you hit them with a heavy swing, it does the Vortex, and it gives you a little bit of HP regen, which helps keep you up when you're just running around farming. Really, really good pairing, right? It's all purple. So back to key item, that gives you more damage, and then you got set. Now you can intermingle some sets, like you could get the 3-piece of this and just deal with 20 stacks and then get something else if you want. It's all up to you. So that's my build. Let me get into the mods. Try to do that quicker. So on the weapon, I want the heal, the HP mod, right? Let me see if there's a better way if I just go to mods. Armor mods. So for my helmet, what do I have? Cannot deal weak spot damage. So that's kind of a big one because you're giving up weak spot damage, but you need crit. Crit is the most important thing of this build. So I got the, and it's not crit damage. Don't worry about crit damage. That helps, but that's not your primary. Your primary is getting crit rate up so you can spawn more vortexes, so you can heal more, so you can reload more, so you can do more damage. So that's what you want. Crit damage is nice, but we're doing this. We're taking this for the 10% crit rate. Because without it, you know, I'd be at 40, not 50. You could probably get away with 40 and be very comfy, by the way. 40, 45 is a nice comfy spot for crit. You're not going to run out of bullets much at all unless you're really bad aim. Anyway, rambling on. Chest doesn't really matter much. What do I have? You can do whatever you feel like. I think this is a good one. I don't really need a lot of defensive unless somebody's coming up and hitting me, so if somebody's close to me. Also, with this build, because I'm so tanky and healy, I don't even bother aiming. I just run up to them and blast on them like I got a shotgun or something, because it doesn't matter. They can't kill me. So then that gives me more damage reduction, and then if they hit me, it gives me even more damage reduction. So I felt like this was the best option, but you're not going to go wrong with anything. This one's good. When you're above, you're always going to be max HP pretty much, so you'll always have head areas no longer weak. When you're out of combat, gain damage reduction. I don't like this. This is good for fighting normal mobs, but normal mobs are easy on this with this setup. Like, you only have to worry about silo pro mode bosses, and even then they're pretty easy. They just take a long time to kill. So this, you know, I'm thinking boss mode. I'm not worried about it. Like, I'm going to be in combat all the time, so I think this one's a bad one. I see a lot of guides reference this, but when you got this build, you're not worried about low-level mobs at all. When the HP is lower, this is bad because your HP is barely ever going to be below 60%. So there's some things you can use. Healing shots if you want, damage reduction, when you're below 30. I mean, you can get that if you want safety. I think this is the best. This head-on conflict. So for pants, weapon damage 5% for every 5 bullets consumed in the magazine. Grants plus 4% weapon damage, capped at 20. So basically, you're going to be at 20 extra damage because you're just going to be shooting so much. You're just going to be shooting a lot. Now, this one has weak spot damage on it, which isn't a great roll, but, you know, you could, just because you're not critting the weak spot, you can still hit the weak spot if it's easy, you know, if you want to. It's a little bit extra damage. You just won't do the weak spot extra bonus damage. But you're going to be critting like crazy. So I think this one was good. There was another in here that was pretty good. Each critical hit by non-melee grants crit damage up to 45%. Now, I have to test this out, because when I was not critting as much, I went with this one for the 20% damage. But this one could, now that I'm critting a lot, this one could be good. So either one of these are going to be good. You're going to test it out, see what's up for you. For boots, what do we got? Covered advance. Take no damage within 40 seconds. If I don't take any damage within 4 seconds, I get extra damage. And then it ends after 30 seconds. So a lot of times you're not taking damage for 4 seconds. Like, it's very, and then you got the buff for 30 seconds. Doesn't matter if you take seconds. You just need a little gap. 4 seconds, no damage, and you get that buff. So I think that's really good. I really think that's good. There are other options in here probably. But I honestly think that's the best. You can sort through these and pick what is comfy to you. It's not going to make or break the build. It's just defensive. Crit rate, I feel like this is a must. I feel like people make a mistake when they get 10% 15, because you're not really worried about crit damage as much as crit damage helps. But like me right now, because I'm at 50, 45 crit rate is still comfy. I could swap over to this just to get that, squeeze that extra little bit of crit damage in there versus critting 5% more. General rule of thumb in games with crit, you want a 50-50 split, meaning, or you want 50% of your crit damage as crit rate, right? So meaning if you have 25% crit rate, you want 50% crit damage. That seems to be like the golden ratio for games, and I'd imagine this game's not much different, crits or crits. Anything else I need to say about that? Yeah, so either way, these two are both viable. If you get one or the other, you can swap them out when you get both and test them out. I might do some testing now that I'm up to 50. This will drop me back down to 45, which is still good. I'm comfy. I'm not going to run out of ammo. I'm going to be healing like crazy. So I guess there's a point where probably crit. I just have to test it. It'll be a pure damage question. So for mask, I got this guy here. The more enemies inside Frost Vortex, the higher the Frost Vortex final damage. This was the best option. I don't even like it that much. Not very often do you find a lot of mobs within your Vortex. And if you do, they're low-level mobs. You got to remember, like, when you're at this level and you're pumping out 10 to 15, 14k damage, you know, all this AOE and stuff like that, little normal mobs are nothing to you. You're invincible. You could destroy them in seconds. These builds just turn into elites and bosses. And really, elites are nothing. So it's just like bosses doing pro silos and stuff like that. We're going into the next phase. When we go into the next phase, we're going to have Nightmare. So it's going to be more about the bosses to me than anything else. So this isn't even really that good. But there isn't many other better solutions. If I was playing teams with somebody who was a sniper and marking, this would be awesome. This game is designed around playing with 2 to 4 people, by the way. If you have somebody with you, you're twice as powerful because you can share everything. Not just synergies and builds, but like building your base and what perks you want, stuff like that. So anyway, off topic, I think this was the best bet. I see a lot of people recommending where is it? It's the other Frost one. Every time in it, no, where is it? I know I have it. It's something like the, oh, I thought it, is this it? Here it is. The longer duration of Frost Vortex, the higher the damage, the final damage. However, in this build, even when you're critting low, those Frost Vortex rarely last full distance. I haven't tested this, but it just makes sense to me that they're not around long enough. They pop, 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 pop. Like, they're not lasting the full 4 seconds. They're lasting a second, a half a second, 2 seconds. So I feel like this is a waste. Unless I have to test it. I haven't tested it, honestly. Unless it starts off at like 20% or 30%. You know what I mean? Like, if it starts at 0 and then at half of a second goes up 10% or something, I don't know. I guess half of a second, so 60%. Yeah, I don't know how they would split that out per second, but I don't know. I'd have to test it, but to me, it just didn't make sense because they don't last long. So I went with this. Could be viable. Test it out when you get both of them. That's all I can recommend. So there are the mods, and then the weapon accessories. Oh, I never even checked if I had accessories on my other gun. So the weapon accessories, I just ran around today and unlocked all accessories. Why don't I have this one? I'll have to look that up. Why don't I have that one? Probably have to, oh, the Morphic shop, that's why. I ran around and got every accessory for every gun. How to explore the riddle book. Well, obviously I didn't do these, so I gotta get them done. But I went around and got everyone done on the map, I should say. Yeah, so it looks like there's still a lot. I probably have to go through each weapon. Oh, by the way, if you know how to view all these accessories and not just the ones, like I can hit I for expand, and it'll show me all these, but these are only accessories for the heavy machine gun. So if you want to see all accessories, it's like you gotta see, you gotta equip a weapon, come in here, hit I, equip another weapon type, come in here, hit I. If you know of a spot where you can see all the accessories, so you can see what is and isn't unlocked, let me know. I'd appreciate it. Anyway, I got the muzzle for flash hider. Stability is big when you don't have any of this stuff. So let me take it all off. How do I even unequip it? U is usually unequipped. So let me take all those off and let's look at my stability. Oops. I mean, not too horrible without them. Kind of jerking all over the place. Definitely going to be worse when you do it over the shoulder. Right? Kind of all over the place. And I'm not going to be quick enough to get in here and get them all back on. I don't even remember which ones I had now. What I go with? Aim speed, mobility. I just want stability. As much stability as I can get is what I went with. Stability, aim speed. So I want things with all pluses. Accuracy is good to have. I think with this one I went with the blue one because it had accuracy and reload. I don't care about reload speed, I care about the accuracy. I don't care about mobility and reload speed, so that's no good. And I didn't want the -18 stability for capacity, so that's why I went with this blue one. Give me a little bit of accuracy to help out with that. So you can see the stability is a lot better. If you can get more accuracy, you'll be better off. But if you need accuracy, the red dot's fine for accuracy. It kind of changes the game a little bit. Look at that spread compared to that other spread. So as far as accuracy, when you need accuracy, you just do this instead of over the shoulder. So they're the accessories I have. Now, alternate armor sets. So you get a set that works well with this for free, right? So the game, I said in Chalk Peak, if you do that, you get the gun, but you also get an armor set. That armor set, I believe, is heavy duty. Is that what it is? Yeah, heavy duty. So it's what I'm using for my one piece. But at 2-piece, you get the 8% damage. And then, let's see, after killing an enemy, increase movement speed for 2 seconds and elemental damage by 40% after you do a kill. So this one is kill dependent, which I don't like. Kill dependents are bad for bosses. because you only kill the boss once and it's a long fight, right? So, their little minions come out and you get that little bump when you kill the minions. But I like things that aren't kill dependent in this game. So that's the only reason I would rank this much worse. Within 5 meter, you get some damage reduction, which is it's nice. But this is a good enough set, and you get it absolutely free. You get the blueprints, you get every single piece absolutely free in the Chalk Peak area, same place you get the gun. So you get that full set, you get that full gun, you're good to go. You don't have to spend anything in here. By the way, never gamble. Don't gamble, just buy. And the shelter again, as I said. So I bought 4 pieces, and they were 3,000 each. So there you go. I mean, I could buy out the other pieces if I wanted, and then actually, I could do that. I could buy out like the mask, and then transfer like the gloves or something like that to the run speed. I might actually do that now that I got some more. What are they called? Stratagems, Starcrom. So many games, so many names for so many things. I have a hard time remembering them all. So that's it. The icy build's awesome. Let me show you the healing effect of it. Go over here and just waste this elite real quick. So what was my second gun? Was my primary, right? There's a little bit more crit. Hello, Mr. 43 Elite. Can you do some damage to me, please? Oh, thank you. Yo, I am really tired in real life, though. Can I get something else to attack me? Can you attack me? Yeah, let me drink some water so I can get my corruption away, too. Probably should have hit me. That creeps me out when it grabs me like that. How's he going? They're just trying to take some damage. This thing's like running away from me. There you go. Alright, now that's good enough. I don't want to sit here forever. Wait. Now watch me heal up. See how fast that was once I started popping them off? Now, the only downside to that also, the reload and the heals are server-based, I think. So, when the server lags out, you're not going to heal, or it'll, like, lag out, and all of a sudden you just heal instantly to full. Or you'll go all the way down, you'll run out of bullets, like in the Prime Wars. You'll run out of bullets. And, you'll have to reload, and you're already reloading by the time lag catches up, so it's just basically, essentially just making you reload. But that's it. That's the icy. Hopefully I explained it thoroughly and you got a little bit more out of this video than all the other icy videos that are out there. I know my videos are longer. It's not because I'm trying to get ad revenue. Trust me, I don't make the ad revenue I get from those stupid commercials. I don't make any money for them whatsoever. My money comes from my job, my real life work. So I'm not a YouTuber by profession, nowhere near. Would be nice, guys. Give me a couple 100,000 subscribers. But even with a couple 100,000 subscribers, it really just, the algorithm is what really matters, right? So I think, like, you see those splashes of people like, only 50% of my subscribers watch my video. Dude, my subscribers, like 5% of my subscribers watch my video, and the rest of it is just pure algorithm. It's like I don't even have subscribers. Just algorithm, and you know what I mean, and that's because I'm a small channel. So trust me, I'm not making these videos super long for ad revenue. I'm just doing it because I'm trying to be thorough, and I'm not trying to make TikTok videos. I know that's where the money's at. I'm not doing this for the money. So hopefully people who like the longer, more drawn out, thoughtful discussion videos and going into the details like my videos. Anyway, I'm gonna splice the other part into the end here. So I don't know if I say goodbye on that, so I'll say goodbye now. Basically, the other part is testing out. If you're interested, it's testing out the crit calibration versus the elemental calibration that I had before I just adjusted them. And that's it. That's the icy, what is it? Icy vein, right? I call it the icy rain. I call it the icy vortex build, but you know, whatever. It does synergize very well. It's not too expensive. You can literally pay nothing and earn all this stuff in game without having to buy these. This set just makes it really nice. So when you get some extra, if you really like this and you want this to be your build and you're going to pump this all the way up to calibration 10 and you're going to pump your armor up, I would suggest go ahead and just spending it on the shelter. It's a good thing. This is the same set that you're going to, if you do an energy build, what's the electricity build called? The pulse, the shock. If you're doing a shock build, this is good. If you're doing burn, I don't know, blast is burn, and I think blaze is the burn for like the BoomBoom. I think that's called blaze. So regardless, this is like an elemental build set. So you're gonna be able to use this set for other builds that you make as well. So it's a good set to invest in anyway. All right, that's it for this video, except for the test that I'm going to drop on here. But otherwise, I'm going to say goodbye and sign off. And hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Helps me out and helps the algorithm chugging away, so you know, 2 or 3 extra people can see this video. The way I look at it is, if for every like, 1 other person's going to see the video. So if you want somebody else to see this video, hit the like. Anyway, here's my ugly base. I'm not redesigning it. I want to do more to it, but I don't want to have to move everything around. It is what it is until the next season. All right, guys, let me do the silly. I like doing this. It's just my thing. Is there a bye-bye in here? I think I literally have a bye-bye in here instead of waving hi. Whoa, respect, push up. No bye, huh? All right, so I'll just do the wave. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. Putting on the next clip. And then I'm going to try to make 2 more videos tonight. So this is my Icy Rain build. I'm going into this in a little bit more advanced than just like a build guide, which I'm either going to put this video into the build guide or make a separate build guide on this, even though there's a bunch of them. Anyway, what I'm comparing here is the calibration. So heavy style crit versus heavy style elemental damage. And just to quickly show you the build, there's the hat. I use that for just extra HP. I wish I should have did move speed. I got my frost vortex spikes, and then just the, you know, getting the 4-piece set of the shelter. So I have, let's go with this one as the one I have selected. So that's my crit with this extra crit in it is 48.7, 66%. Here's all the stats, so you can pause it, I guess. But the main thing is the crit, right? So let's see what the dummy says. And it's kind of random. Like, it could be between... let me reload it. Actually, it'll ramp up. Let me ramp it up. And what I'm saying by ramp it up is I got 30 stacks down there. If you look by my HP bar, it'll stay at 30 until you reload. This is part of the build. I'll go into that later. But I just wanted to ramp that up so it's equal. Alright, so I'm just going to scope and just do body hits, and let's see what the DPS is with crits. So it looks like we're floating right around 12. Now, I've seen it float right around 14 before, too. So now, let's switch over to the other one, and I'll go into my gear real quick and show you my stats so you can see the crit drop down. And then I'm assuming this stuff went up, but I'll just scroll all my stats down so you can see them and pause them. So that's this one with the elemental. So let's see if that can hit. And notice I still have the stacks. Weapon switching is fine. It doesn't remove the stacks. So let me see if this elemental does 12 or floats at 12 or does 10 or does 14. And it ran out of ammo. So without that extra crit, it can run out of ammo if you have a bad luck streak on crits. So that to me just really sells it. Like the whole point of this build is so you're blasting icy vortexes for extra DPS. That heals you when you do that. This is a very heal heavy build compared to every other build. and you want unlimited ammo. Now with the crits on this one, oof, got close, went down to about 10. But for the most part, with such high crit on this one, it stays above 40. Now, the reload and the procs do depend on the server lag. So when you're fighting boss fights or the server's laggy for whatever reason, it's not registering those vortexes, and they're not popping up, or they do pop up and disappear. Sometimes the reload effect doesn't kick in as well. You can run out of ammo, but I'm gonna say the break point for running out of ammo is somewhere between 48 and what was the other one? It was like, I guess it'd be like 30 something. I forget what it was. 35. So yeah, that break point is probably around, you know, you're never going to get a 100% chance just for probability, but just for you know, an actual fight to rarely run out, just so you get enough crits, you're probably going to want to be at 40-45% crit. So I'm going to say crit is definitely the way to go over to elemental, although the elemental probably will kick off more AOE damage. I don't know. Let's look at the AOE damage on that, because more crits mean more procs, right? So more procs mean more damage, but elemental means more damage, just raw damage, even though it's less procs. I'm going to say regardless, just not running out of ammo and more heals is better. Alright, so let me switch to elemental, and we'll just look at the AoE damage, right? So here, let me do this. Let me go over here. So we're sitting at 5k. We're sitting at like 5k. Let me switch over to the crits. See what the AoE damage is on crits. Wow. So crit is definitely the way to go. Crit's the way to go. You're getting more AoE damage, 100%. So I just wanted to try that out for myself. I figured I'd chop this into the video. I plan on making a build video, so this video will probably be chopped into it. So maybe I'll even edit this part out. But that's what it is. Talk to you later.